At 16 years old, I decided that I wanted to be a school counselor around that time. And now that I'm 34 and I have left school counseling, I've completed a little over 5 years. I definitely have some thoughts on how I was so young when I decided to become a school counselor. Before I share those thoughts, though, I think it's important for me to talk about like why I became a school counselor. So when I was a teenager, I was, struggling with my credits, and I was also like having some family problems. And my school counselor, she made a big difference in my life, and she was there for me. And every time I would wait for her to see her, I would observe the other school counselors and the work that they did with the other kids. And I thought to myself, this seems like a cool job. So I decided that I wanted to become a school counselor around that time. And fast forward to today, I think it's interesting that I was so young when I made that decision for myself. And the reason why I think that's interesting is because I was so young, right? Like I barely had any life experience, let alone any work career experience to know, if this career would have been a fit for me. And I don't regret becoming a school counselor. It just makes me think about how we expect kids to know what they want at such a young age. And that usually comes when we ask kids, whether they're a child or a teenager, what do you want to be when you grow up? And interestingly enough, Michelle Obama in her book Becoming talks about how this is actually the most useless question that you can ask a child. And when I read that in her book, I was like, oh my goodness, me and her were thinking the same. Because I do think it's a useless question, right? And so I think the conversations that we should be having with kids is more around openness and curiosity around different jobs and careers and, lifestyles and values and things of that nature, instead of just like flat out asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because like, again, kids barely have any life experience. They barely know themselves. They barely have any work experience. So how do you expect them to know what they want to be when they grow up when they barely know themselves? So, again, I don't regret becoming a school counselor. And in fact, I feel like it has taught me a lot, right? The lessons that came with detaching my identity from the role of a school counselor. And I'm thankful for all the experiences and lessons that I've gained as a result of what I've been through. But it definitely has made me look at things differently, right? And so, yeah, I know I mentioned that I left school counseling. I actually released a blog post called Why I Left School Counseling today. And if that's something that you would like to read, it is in the link in my bio.